was great to get the stimulus again. In the game, you feel the
Yeah.
teeth. I wanted that, you know?
Yeah. Resets are real. They're important. You can get trapped in momentum.
Australian used to be able to ride on the back of the ute. It was okay, you weren't doing anything wrong. You didn't have to have a seatbelt. No cars ever had seatbelts on the back of their ute. Didn't even have them inside the ute. Depends how far you go back. But it was legal. You don't go back and fine somebody for doing it now. In the UFC, Vitor Belfort used to be on TRT because he got it under the loophole. Pretty much like you just had to be on TRT, stop being on TRT, get your testosterone levels checked. Now you're allowed to be on TRT, and he took it to the hilt. He was jacked with all that confidence of being in that position with all of those hormones, or his ability to recover from training sessions, and just out there to take the break people. I was going to say something I shouldn't say. Anyway, only John Jones really was able to beat him in that era, and John Jones pretty much should have lost the fight in that armbar, but John Jones is a special kind of stubborn. But anyway, so what our government, he legally won all of those fights with the UFC, and when they changed the rules, he couldn't win because he wasn't allowed to be jacked anymore, but they didn't go back and fine him for anything. So what our government's done, somehow they've put together all of these drafts of this incredibly long legislation, apparently just since the horrible incident in Bondi, and now they're ready to respond with this legislation that just somehow happened to be ready, had gone through all of those drafts that they have to go through, these silly lawyers with their silly law. To me, it's silly. Legals is just so dominant on money. It's so clearly corrupt. But anyway, they're ready now to rush it through. There's a small amount of time for the politicians voting on it to get their acts together on it, and obviously it's easy for them just to approve it, and they'll probably get through. And then they'll look at something you did when it wasn't against the law and say, now, well, that thing there, that's against the law now. You did it back then. The law is that doesn't matter. So now you're going. And they control the narrative then.